Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for coming on and watching this video. It has been, a long time coming in a way. I made a small video on my Instagram account, and then a lot of people asked me to, go into greater detail about why I quit my MLM. So that's what this video is going to be. And I just want to say, this is my first time doing a video like this. So please bear with me. I'm going to do my best, and I'm going to try to tell my story as quickly and, as I can, and just give you the real raw reasons why I decided to leave my MLM. Before I get started, hi, first of all, my name is Solana, and I was a Beachbody coach for 2.5 years. I joined Beachbody 2.5 years ago, and at that time in my life, I was a full-time university student. I was taking 5 classes. I was doing an internship, and I just quit my full-time job at Starbucks, which was causing me so much anxiety. So I was in a stressful time, and I was just about to get married when I started. If you've ever been a university student, you know what that feels like. How this all started for me was this girl that I knew from my childhood, and I'm still friends with her, and I respect her, and this is not to pick on her in any way. She was just doing what she was told to do. She was just following pretty much the orders of her uplines. She started reaching out to me and asking me if I wanted to join, her accountability group, because she noticed that I was getting back on track in my fitness journey. And I had gained a little bit of weight, and I was trying to be honest about it on social media and talking about my own little, going back to the gym kind of fitness journey. I trusted her, so I listened to what she had to say. But honestly, it took me 3 months to actually say yes to her. And she started sending me a lot of resources like videos. She was sending me, websites. And the websites were never to Beachbody. The videos were never to Beachbody. They were her upline who created her own website. So I thought this was like the name of the company, what her upline decided to call her team. So I didn't even know it was Beachbody. And after 3 months of her continuously following up with me, as they're told to do, I said yes. And then I got an email from her through Beachbody saying she had enrolled me, and I had to finish the enrollment process. That was the first time that I ever knew it was Beachbody. And that's when I spoke to my husband, and I was like, okay, I'm going to join this company. And he, as most husbands are, was very skeptical, but ultimately wanted to support me. So he said, okay, go ahead. If you think that this is something you want to do, try it. And I was like, yeah, I trust her. I feel like I want to do this. Let's go, whatever. And the first few months, I honestly didn't do any of the coaching part of it. She told me it was just good to sign up as a coach regardless because, you can get a discount and stuff. So, but I didn't want to start working right away because I didn't want to start working without knowing what the heck it was I was selling. And the trainings that I received was they weren't her trainings because she was also a very new coach when she enrolled me. They were her uplines training. So I was doing training from this woman that I didn't even know who she was. And I was like, okay, I guess I need to listen to this person. And they try to make you start right away. And they're like, okay, right away before you even get your package, start just promoting your workouts. And I was like, well, I don't really feel comfortable promoting something that I don't know what it is. And honestly, that should have been my first sign, but it wasn't. And let me just say, when I started, I was still living in Canada. I'm from Montreal. And the starter kit that they, push is $160 US. What they don't tell you is in Canada, it's $210 because shipping and handling is more expensive, the exchange rate and everything. So it was actually more for me. So I paid $200. I start, trying the shakes. I didn't like them that much. I'd never been into shakes, but I was drinking them. Everything was fine. I actually really was enjoying the programs. The programs were really cool. I liked them. They were giving me some results. And then what I noticed is I got automatically charged the next month for the shakes again. And they tell you it's a one-time payment. This is what she's told to tell me. I was also in the process of immigrating to the US. So my husband and I, we live in the US now. He works here. And I was in the process of immigrating as well as trying to finish university, doing an internship, and all of these things going on. So it was a stressful time in our life. There was a lot going on. And I was like, oh, well, it'd be great if I could make money from home because then he's not the sole provider, and yay. Within a few months that I started, actually my original upline quit. And she quit because she didn't like how the community that we're sold on was behaving. I got a new upline. I got her upline. So then I get her upline, who is a way more established coach in the network. And I was like, okay, great. Like, I'll keep trying. And this is when I actually started to make friends in the network. And I do have to say, like, I made a group of, there's 5 of us that were really close. They are some of my closest friends. And this is nothing against anybody that I'm friends with in the company. I respect them. And I actually am very lucky to have had a positive community experience with these 4 other women, because I know a lot of people, when they quit, they don't have a relationship with the people that they used to work with. So I am super grateful for that. And I think that you guys should know that. However, my upline, she was there, she was active, she was trying to get us to, reach the goals, as they say. And I was told that I had to rank advance. And to rank advance, I should sign someone up, like my friend or my husband. So I signed up my husband, and he went along with it because he supports me and he's a good person. And then all of a sudden, we were paying for 2 people's worth of, the shakes every single month. It was excessive now that I look back on it. But at the time, I was like, okay, I need to do this to rank advance. And I did rank advance, and I was emerald, and it was great. And then that's everything. It was so anticlimactic. It was like happy for a minute, and then, okay, now what? And then they push you for the next rank advance. And then what happened was that upline went MIA, and she just left the company too. And she didn't say anything to us. And like, I had never heard from her since. And I honestly, I respect the reasons why she left. I think she also came to the realization she didn't want to be in an MLM, but she said nothing to us, and she just left. So then we were appointed with another upline. So this is my 3rd upline. Nothing bad to say, against this person personally. She was also a higher level in the company, and as a person, she's not a bad human being. Next thing you know, so I am ordering shakes every single month to remain active, and my husband also has to order them so he can remain active, so that I can remain active. And this is where I was starting to get a little bit frustrated. I had to move to the US because in the immigration process, you need to come and live in the country, obviously, but you can't leave for 6 months minimum while they're processing your new status. So I was stuck in the US, and my visa did not allow me to work. So I couldn't change my account over to a US account. I had to keep it in Canada, meaning that I couldn't order anything anymore because I changed my address to my parents' address because I didn't have an address there anymore. And what would happen is that I would get charged for Shakeology, and the shakes. I would get charged for the products, and they would be sent to my parents' house, but I had no way of getting them, and they weren't going to send them to me. So I had to cancel all of my orders because there was no point in me ordering shakes or products that I couldn't use for at least the next 6 months while I was in the US. I tried to ask my upline about this, and I was like, listen, I just want you to be aware of the fact that my status is going to drop. I'm going to be inactive, but it's only because I'm currently in the States. I can't work in this country. And she totally just didn't understand, or just didn't care, because I guess she wouldn't be making commission off of me anymore, and she wouldn't be making money off of me. So that's kind of when I felt abandoned in the network. Not by the girls that I was friends with, because the girls I was friends with were, we were all trying to continuously help each other. But there was a lack of feeling like there was any empathy or understanding towards my situation when I said I can't work in the US right now, so I can't do this at the moment, so I'm going to put it on hold. And they just didn't really make me feel like that was the right thing to do, even though I had no choice. You can't just have a fake social. And so this is kind of all what started to put a bad taste in my mouth. And I wanted to believe in the company. I really did. And my friends and I in the company were trying really hard to put, our take on being a coach. Fast forward, now I live in the US. I'm a legal resident. I have, I'm able to work in this country. So I was finally able to put my coach account into the US. So now, I was working here. But I didn't feel like it was aligning with what I wanted to do anymore, because I felt that it was too heavily based on recruiting. And that's what I didn't realize when I signed up. When I signed up, I thought it was more sign people up to do the workouts and hold them accountable, and community, and you make money. And I was like, oh my God, that's so great, because you don't have to push crappy products on people, and you don't have to like force anyone to do anything. Little did I know that they do actually try to force you to order supplements every single month, and you have to remain active. And the other thing that I didn't realize is that you had to be recruiting constantly. And I was like, why? What? Like, I don't want to cold message people. I never cold messaged anyone. The only time I ever messaged people was I made a post on Instagram and I was like, who wants to join this opportunity? And people reached out to me and I talked to them. But they were telling us to like reach out to people that liked and commented on all your photos on Instagram or watched your stories. And I was like, I am not going to talk to these people. Like, it was weird. Like, I messaged people that voted on polls and stuff like that, but that was the only time that I actually cold messaged, and it was always really awkward for me, and I knew it didn't feel right. And I was like, I'm not really making that much money doing this. Like, I made a little bit of commission money, but I actually lost more money in hindsight through buying the products myself, because as they tell you, the coaches are the customers. Okay. I was like, I don't want to tell anyone they can make money this way if I'm not making money this way. And this is where I started to get so weird. And, the group that I was in, we really tried to bring it into like what made sense for us. Like, we wanted to focus on mental well-being, and we wanted to focus on just well-being all around, like not just fitness. It wasn't just about the transformation, and really have that like accountability community aspect, but that's not what makes the money. So we're all trying to do this, and we're all trying to put our goals into the form of Beachbody, but Beachbody does not allow you to make money in that way. It's all about recruiting. And I was listening to coach calls of top coaches in the company, and that's what they constantly said. You need to be recruiting. You always need to be recruiting, getting new people. And I started hearing stories of uplines that were like super high in the company saying like, yeah, I just like recruit and then they'll probably won't stay on, so I just replace them next month. And I was like, that is not a way to run a business, and that is not a way to help people. I genuinely signed up because I wanted to help other people that were in a position like me, that maybe didn't have a lot of time to do workouts or, be in shape, and wanted to. And that's because that's what I wanted. And I was like, okay, I want to help other people. That's always been my goal in life. But what they don't tell you is you have to constantly be recruiting. And this is the part that I cannot ever get behind. I did recruit a couple of coaches, but not many. I did not make back my investments. If I ever portrayed the fact that I did, I apologize. We are told all the time, fake it till you make it. And honestly, that is the worst advice I've ever heard, because I believe that it is better to live your life authentically than to fake it till you make it. I mean, strive for bigger, strive for your dreams, strive for your goals. But seriously, like, if I ever portrayed this fact and said like I was making a ton of money doing this, it was not true. The only reason I have been able to survive is because my husband has a 9-to-5. Okay. He has a salary job, and that's how we can make our income. And secondly, I've been doing an internship once a week that actually gives me a set paycheck every month. So that was making me more money than Beachbody ever made me. They kind of make you feel like the 9-to-5 life is like the worst. And maybe to some people it is. Like, I personally don't necessarily want to work in an office from 9-to-5, but you know what? Like, maybe some people do. Like, I'm not going to lie, like having a steady paycheck that my husband makes is pretty good. So I'm not complaining. It allows us to live our life. The second thing that really, so I was always kind of on the downturn, and I probably didn't work the business for like the business, guys. I probably didn't work it for about 6 months before I quit. And then the pandemic hit, and this is where I absolutely could not handle this company anymore. And as I said, this is not an attack on the coaches. This is something, guys, I live in New York City, so if you hear all of the noises outside, it's because I live in New York City. So when the pandemic started, I probably, like a lot of people, felt really, really impacted and felt heavy on my heart. And I just said, I live in New York. This was the epicenter of the US at the beginning of the pandemic. And it was really a hard time. It was a hard time, I think, for everyone collectively. It was uncertain. We didn't know what was going to happen. We didn't understand like this illness. And that's when I started to see Beachbody coaches trying to monetize on a pandemic. And I actually felt disgusted. We were being told that because people were now out of a job, it made them more recruitable. It made them more recruitable to be a coach because now they could have a job. Yet, I'm sorry, the starter fee is $160 plus to remain active to even get commission. You need to be putting out $90 a month US. Do you think someone that just lost their job can afford to put out that amount of money? That I could not get behind. I was like, if someone wants to sign up right now, if someone wants to be, a coach or a client, let them sign up. If they have the money, if they want to do it, if they reach out to me and say, hey, I really want to do this thing, cool. But I could not get behind recruiting into this business right now. We do not capitalize on collective trauma. I was seeing how the CEO was speaking about this. And I just want to say, there was a video on the National Wake Up Call, which is like their business call that they do every week, where the CEO talked about coaches being essential workers. And this is where I was like, I am done. I am so over this. I was like, coaches are not essential workers. We're not on the front lines. We're sitting in our houses. We are doing our workouts. Coaches are not essential workers. Coaches, we are. You and I, as a former coach, were never essential workers. I am sorry, unless you were on the front lines, unless you were in the grocery store stocking shelves, unless you were a nurse, a doctor, if you were an actual essential worker. There have been ample amounts of videos made on this already because this was like really shocking. But I found videos of the CEO saying the same thing, like we need to monetize on the pandemic. And this is where I was totally over it. And I'm going to try and see if I can pull up the video here.
Right now is the opportunity. We know we can ship product right now. Right now is your opportunity to put groups together. Yes, a challenge pack is the best value that we offer because it's the total solution: fitness, nutrition, peer support. Take advantage of that. I really think it's such a miraculous opportunity for us to help people get healthier during these times rather than being paralyzed in fear. The new top coach is going to emerge out of the current field of 340,000 coaches because they refuse to get paralyzed by this situation because they see the opportunity of truly helping people. And that's what we're doing by forming groups, by helping people get the total package with the challenge pack. And there's going to be people who step up and hustle. And those are the people who win. And I hope that's you. I want you to win in this. And I want you to bring more winners into this because the more of a creative, positive, winning attitude that we can build on and build on and build on and refuse to let the government or big or corporations dictate how we are going to perceive this situation. That's the way we approach this.
Okay, so I don't disagree with him saying we need to not be paralyzed by fear, but what I have a problem with in this is the fact that he's saying go out there and find the coaches right now. This is the time for us to get in, recruit. I'm sorry. No, it is not the time to recruit. There are people that lost their jobs. Okay, so no, thank you. Okay, and this next part is I just can't. But let's listen.
I've heard people joke about that COVID-19. What that stands for is the 19 pounds that people are gaining while they're in lockdown. And so I've seen people name their groups, say no to the COVID-19, which is basically the 19 pounds that you don't want to gain or that you want to lose. You can set a defined time, or you can make your group ongoing. You can also select.
Okay, so this is where I have a problem. This monetizing on COVID-19, I get it. I understand, we've all been joking about the fact that we'll gain weight during quarantine, but guess what? It's a collective trauma and it's okay to gain weight. They are using this trauma, and it is not okay to start monetizing on the way people are coping. I agree, we all need to be healthy. I value having a healthy lifestyle. I think it's really important. And I agree, like, we should be trying to keep ourselves healthy right now. But at the same time, we shouldn't be having to worry about MLM people coming up to us and telling us that we should be, losing the COVID-19 pounds, because that is so inappropriate, so rude. You don't know what other people are going through. And that was a straw for me that broke the camel's back, as they say. That is not something I wanted to associate myself with. This is the CEO of the company. This is what the company stands for. The coaches are doing what they're told. The coaches are listening to this person. They're doing what they're told, but that is not okay. I don't ever think it's okay to use a collective trauma to sell your products or to recruit people. If people want to sign up with you, that is their choice and that is their right. And I'm happy for people to have accountability, but I could no longer support a company that was pushing recruitment during a pandemic when people were losing their jobs. Employment rate was skyrocketing. It's just, there was a recession. Like, this is not the time for people to be spending their stimulus packages on this kind of stuff. There were so many free resources. Personally, I compiled so many free workouts from Beachbody to send to people before I left, because I was like, people at least deserve free workouts. If they want to do something, right now is not the time to charge anybody money for that unless they absolutely can or want to spend the money on it. I'm recording this video a little bit later than I wanted to be, just so you guys know. And I put it off because, as we know, these past few weeks have been very tumultuous, and, a lot of great things have been happening, but it's definitely been very, there's a lot of change happening right now. There's a pandemic, and now we have the Black Lives Matter movement, which is taking the spotlight. And I didn't want to be posting this video during that, but I also wanted to say, like, I've seen some coaches also monetizing on the Black Lives Matter movement. And my girl, Margaret, she did a really good video on this the other day that I watched, and it was super powerful. So please go watch it. I will also link it. And there was basically something that I noticed, and it turned me off in the same way that this monetizing on the pandemic turned me off of it. It was like, there was Beachbody COVID, and I don't know who created this. Like, I have no idea where it came from, but I saw Beachbody coaches circulating this thing that said, it's the I Can't Breathe workout challenge. If I have to explain how insane and horrible that is, like, I can't even put words to how disgusting that is. And I don't want to be the one to, go into this deeply, because there's been other people that have done really good videos. So please go watch their videos, because they really articulated their point. But that is beyond sickening. And I have also seen coaches, no one that I know personally, but Beachbody coaches nonetheless, using this to recruit people by saying, like, for every person I sign up, I will donate part of my commission. And I can't get behind this, because if you want to donate, just donate. You don't need to make people sign up with you to be able to donate money. If you want to donate money, then donate money. It shouldn't be a way in which to get people to sign up for the MLM. And this is fundamentally where in Beachbody I could not get behind it, and in MLMs in general, because I've seen this in so many MLMs right now, monetizing on the pandemic, monetizing on the trauma and the experiences of the Black community right now. It is unacceptable. But this is really how I truly feel. And I'm so not aligned with that business model. And I have gotten away from it. And I just want to thank the people that have been there for me while I get away. It's really hard to make this video, but I do think that, like everything, I shouldn't be staying silent because I'm afraid of what someone might think about my experience. This is my experience, and I'm allowed to tell the story. I genuinely don't want anyone to think that I'm coming after any particular coach or a distributor. But the business model to me, and having CEOs promote monetizing on trauma, is nothing that I can get behind, and I can't not speak out about it. So this is where I stand on this. I hope that this video wasn't too much of a train wreck for my first video. And as I said, it's been on my heart to make it for a long time, and it felt like the right time. So I hope that this was informative, and that, if you comment down below, let me know what you think. Let me know if you want to see more types of things of this nature or whatever you want to see. I'm very new to this. So thank you for being, patient with me, and thank you for listening to my story. I really appreciate it.